Hello class, Mr. Greeno here. In this video I'm going to illustrate how to do your culminating activity. Here is my instructions that I'll put in the classroom so you can access this document. Culminating activity for game programming the year 2020-2021. Modify your completed breakout game as noted below. If you did not finish the breakout game, that's no big deal, don't worry. Here is the code for the completed game that you will modify as noted below. So basically you could either use your game if you made it. If you didn't get to it, you can use my game. I give you the code. Copy your game or my game and paste it into your CodeHS sandbox as shown in the video. A little bit of a weird thing here. This has no link on it, but it will after I make the video. So I'm making the video that's going to be linked on this document. So I can't link it yet because the video is not made. It's kind of a catch-22, but that's where the link will be. The video also shows how to complete all 4 steps listed below. So the first step, it's 50 points because this is the real important part of the game. Define a function named hit location that determines the hit location of the ball on the paddle so that it hits towards the end of the paddle, or rather, so that hits towards the end of the paddle. Cause the ball to move at a large angle, while hits towards the center of the paddle cause the ball to move at a small angle, that is, almost vertically. Number 2, call the hit location function from the appropriate place in your existing code so that the hit location function runs correctly. That's a pretty simple thing, so it's only 10 points. Number 3, include 2 sounds in your game, which you can obtain from MixKit, and I got a link there. It'll bring you to the website. You can find your sounds. One sound for when the ball hits the paddle and another sound for when the ball hits a brick. Include a song to be played as background music while your game is being played. You can use one of my songs from my shared folder or use one of your own songs as long as you can easily upload it to CodeHS. So don't spend a lot of time trying to get the song you really want from YouTube or from wherever, and you spend a whole lot of time just trying to get the song. If you don't know how to do that or you can't get it right away, use one of the ones I have in my shared folder. It's just background music. Okay, so here's the code for the completed game. If you didn't finish it, you can just click there and that'll open. Now this is the completed game without the angle bounce or the sound. So all you have to do is click in here, do Control A to select all, Control C to copy. Then, and I would leave this open, so you need to open your sandbox. So right click on sandbox and say open link in new tab. Click here for a new program. I guess I would name it Breakout with Angle and Sound. Click Sound. Oh, I guess it doesn't want to go that long. How about if we just say Breakout Angle Sound? There we go. Create program. You're going to choose JavaScript graphics and then just click create. Now it gives you this default thing with the ball just, I don't know, what's it do? Bounce around the screen. I'll just sit in the center and change colors just to show you that's a basic graphics thing. But of course we don't want that. We're going to click in here, do Control A to select all, Control V to paste. And now you have all the code you need to make the game run. Alternatively, if you had finished the game, then you would just go to your game over here, right click, open link, new tab, and then this is your game. You click in here, Control A to select all, Control C to copy, go to the sandbox, do the same thing I just showed, and paste it in. So that would be the same thing because my game in the sandbox and in the unit were the same thing. So now you have your whole game, and this is the way it should play. No sound, and regardless if the ball is coming from the right or to the left, when it hits the paddle, it always goes the other way. It never does a bounce back the same way. So right now I want it to like Oh, and that's a little bit of a glitch that we could fix, but we're not going to spend the time on it. So if I hit it off the left side, it should bounce back to the left side, but it doesn't. Okay, and that's what we want to fix. In fact, let me show you the completed game. I don't want to show you my code just yet. Oops, if I can get this thing to stay like that. There we go. So if I do run code, this is the completed game that I want you to do. So you can hear Aerosmith playing in the background. I click to make it start. Nice little sound when it hits the paddle. Sound when it hits the bricks. Notice how it's bouncing really straight when I hit it off the center. When I hit it off the corner, like this, see how it goes fast into the side? But then if I hit it off the center again, it goes slow. And the numbers you see printing out down here, I'll explain those in a minute. I also made the ball smaller so that it could fit inside the bricks and kind of get up inside there and kind of bounce around. If you can break a hole, you can get the ball above the bricks, and then it'll clear them out really fast. That's kind of the goal of this game. Make a hole and get the ball through the hole so it can clear things without you having to hit it with the paddle. See? Like that. Okay? So that's what we're trying to do. Let me stop this and get this back over here, my other screen, and go back to this. So let's go about doing it. Yeah, so let's do, so you know how to get either your game or my game in there. Let's do part one, the hit location. So, and let me close out these other things I have open now so I don't get confused as to where I'm supposed to be going. Okay. So let's go all the way down to the bottom and click and hit enter. Let me hit enter a bunch of times. Bring that up a little, and let me also make this bigger so you can see better. Maybe not too big. There we go. So over here, we're going to add a function called checkItLocation. So I'm going to put a comment so I know what it is. So I'm going to put code for bouncing the ball at different angles off the paddle. And remember, we said make a function and call it checkItLocation. So function, got to spell it right. Check hit location. Doesn't receive any parameters. Open close parentheses. And we're going to set up a variable, and we're going to call it hit percent. It's going to be like a percentage. Not in percent like 30%, but in like a 0.3 or a 0.2. So 0 to 1, let's say. That type of thing. The decimal equivalent of a percent. Set up another variable called ball position. And that's going to be equal to ball.get x minus paddle.get x. And what that does is tell us how far along the paddle the ball is, right? Because the x position of the ball minus the paddle position, it's either all the way at the left, so the position is going to be 0. They're both all the way to the left, or it could be up to however the width of the paddle is if the ball's all the way to the right. So that's going to tell us where along the paddle the ball is. And then the hit percent is equal to ball position, did I spell it right? Position divided by paddle width. And that's a constant from up top. And so if I go all the way up top, I get paddle width, copy that, go all the way back down, so I make sure I'm using the right term. Paddle width So that's going to give us a number between 0 and 1. But I really want it to be between negative zero point 0.5 and positive zero point 0.5. So negatives, the ball's going to the left, and positives, the ball goes to the right. So if I 0 to 1, if I subtract 0.5 from that, well, 0 minus zero point 0.5 is negative zero point 0.5, and 1 minus zero point 0.5 is 0.5. So I get a range of negative zero point 0.5 to positive zero point 0.5. And then I'm going to say my velocity in the x direction is equal to hit percent times, and I'm just picking this number because I know it works. But if you didn't know it works, I guess you'd have to play around with it. So times 30. Vy times equals 1.02. What's that mean? That's your ball speed up. So every time the ball hits the paddle, the velocity in the y direction goes up by 2%. So it constantly gets a little faster, a little faster, a little faster. A very small amount, but still, if you're hitting it over and over again, you haven't missed in 10 or 20 hits, now the ball's starting to move pretty fast. In fact, what I noticed is when it gets to move really fast, um, that's when, and you know what, let's just leave this for now. That's when you get some little bit of glitching stuff going on. And so when do we want, so that's the first part. That's 50% of the grade right there. Boom. Just those lines of code, type that in. But now we have to call, remember, that's the part one, but now we have to call the hit location function. So where are we going to call that? Like, when do we call that? When do we want that to run? And so, let me find where I put it. Okay. You're going to have to go back up here to line the check objects function, right? Check objects. No, not color for bricks. Where is chow? Here we go. Check objects. Okay, so the check objects function. Um, this this right here says if it if the element didn't hit the paddle, that means it hit a brick. So if it did hit the paddle, then we do this. So this right here is the code we run when it hit the paddle. So before we change the direction in the y direction, we ought to say check hit location, because that's going to say, okay, where along the paddle did it hit, so that it can what you call it? It can determine the angle based on our check hit location function. So that should give you the first two parts. That should work. Let's see. No sound right now, obviously. And there you go. And now the ball it's actually kind of big. If you ever played the breakout game, the ball's not that big compared to the bricks. So what I did, and you should do this because it makes the game play a little better, is they had a ball radius of 15 to start with. So I think I would make that. I mean, you can make it whatever you want. Play around with it if you like, but I would make it 7 because I played around with it and I kind of like that. Okay, so there's the first two parts of the breakout game. Now we want to go and, well, actually, before I do that, let me play this again and show you what I mean. I'm going to pause my video for a minute. Okay, I'm unpausing the video. Now you can see the ball's going kind of fast, and if you just noticed just then, it flew right through one of the bricks and hit the brick behind it. Just happened there again. And so that happens just because of the sensing of the machine, of the and here you can see it kind of going glitching again. And so we don't want the ball to go too fast because then bad things happen. It's just a little simple game playing through the CodeHS interface, and we want to prevent that glitch. So the first thing I did was I said to myself, okay, well, why is that happening? Or what are the values of some of these things while I'm playing the game? So you put in a print statement anytime you want and find out some of this stuff. So what is the ball position plus, and then I want a little space. Oops, let me move this out of the way. A little space, just so that I can put another thing on the same line. Plus, hit, plus, a space, plus, Vx, plus, a space, plus Vy. And then close that off. So now if I play it, every time I hit, I get a little printout on the bottom. That's off the left side. That's off the right side. Hit it more off the right side. There we go. And then if I stop it, the numbers go away. So here what you're seeing down here is 6.2 was the ball position, so 62 pixels along the paddle. The hit percent was 0.275. The Vx was 8.25, and the Vy was 8.16. The next time, because we multiply the hit percent by 30 to get the Vx, it was a bigger number. So I hit it off the edge, the left edge, it went more to the left, more to the left. And you'll notice the Vy went up to 8.2, 8.3. Over here it's 8.4. Over here it's 8.6, because it's going up a little bit each time, so it's getting faster and faster up and down. And sometimes the Vx is negative, sometimes it's positive. So negative would be fly it off to the left, positive fly it off to the right. And so what I found was when the velocity in the y direction got above 13, that's when, and maybe even 11 or 12, maybe not even until 15 or something. So again, it's just a number I've settled in on. Then I found when I set it to don't go faster than 13, it worked better. So what I did was I did this. If Vy is greater than 13, then what do I do? Well, don't let it go greater than 13. Just say Vy equals 13. So if it's 13.3, nope, it's 13. If it's 13.2, nope, it's 13. Anytime it tries to go above 13, just stop it and make it only 13. So I limit my speed. It never goes above 13. I'm not going to play the game now and show you that because that'll take some time. But if I was, you would see that these numbers keep going up from 8 to 9 to 10. And when it gets at 13, it stays at 13. And so the game plays better. Okay, so now we got the hit percent working. And you can leave this here to see these numbers. Or after you do the print statement and you figure out what you want to do, put 2 slashes in front of it and then it doesn't run anymore. Okay, so now on to the next part. So we did parts 1 and 2. Now we want to include some sounds. So if you click this link, it should open this website called Mixit. You go to sound effects. Now when you're playing a game and this ball is going to be hitting this and then hitting that, if you have a sound that plays for like 10 seconds, they're going to overlap badly. So you want sounds that are like 1 second. So if I just go here and I pick any one of these, that's 1 second, that's good. Okay, 1 second. Dog bark twice. You could do that. So if you like dogs barking, so you click this button, you download it. Now I'm a little confused because I'm using Microsoft Edge because I got Chrome open for the game already completed. But I think Microsoft Edge, let's see, does it download to the downloads folder automatically? Yeah, so here it is. So Mixit dog barking wave. So I got it. So now if I go and say, oh, let me download my other game, my other sound too. Let's do this one. So it downloaded that. I close this. And, there's lots and lots of them. And you can even search. So, over here. So if you go to like miscellaneous or game, and you want to do like, I don't know, space shooter, and then you get all these different ones here. Again, so you can see a lot of them are 1 second because that's what you want in video games. But sometimes they could be 2 seconds or 4 seconds, and that you're going to have some overlap then. All right, so pick any one you want. Just click the download button, download it. And then what you have to do is In your game here, you have to go to More, Upload, Upload File, go to your Downloads folder, right? Downloads. So let's do this one first, Open. And don't do the next one just yet because they give you the link here and you need this link. If you go do the next one, you're going to lose this link or you're not going to be able to find it. There's a way to find it, but it takes a little more time. It'd be better to do this. So you just click here. It says copied URL. And so now we're going to put in the code that makes that work. So we're going to go back up top and declare a bunch of variables. So under here, we're going to say variables for audio. And let's say we're going to make that the sound of when you hit it. So VAR hit sound equals new audio, parentheses, quotes, and then just paste in that link. And don't forget to go to the end and hit a semicolon. Now that we got that link in there, hit enter, and we're going to do the next file, the retro game one, or whichever one you picked. Open, the link changes, click, it's copied. So now we're going to say VAR break, B-R-E-A-K, break bricks sound. Now, I could have said, this always gets me. I was talking to someone in class, one of the students. I go, what always gets me is when I declare a variable, did I declare it as break brick sound or break bricks sound? That plural thing. It's like, I don't know, do you always want to use plural? Do you always want to use singular? It kind of depends. I mean, we're breaking bricks. I don't think we're ever going to really play a game and break one brick. So I named it bricks. So same thing, new audio, open close parentheses, open close quotes, control V to paste that in, go to the end, semicolon. What did I say over here? Include two sounds in your game which can, one sound for the, okay. So we do that, and then let's make those two sounds work. So, where are we going to play those sounds? Well, one gets played when it hits the paddle, and we already know when it hits the paddle. That's where we put the check hit location, right? Because that's where it hits the paddle. So here we just have to type hit sound dot play. So the name of the variable is hit sound. That's equal to that sound you downloaded with that link. Open close parentheses with the semicolon. So that's basically says anytime the ball hits the paddle, play that hit sound. And now the other thing would be when the ball breaks the bricks. Well, that should be near there, shouldn't it? Yeah, that should be like right over here. Because we got, these is when we're taking away the bricks, right? So over here we could say, now this is where I got to remember, it's break bricks sound dot play. And so now it should make that sound, whatever sound we upload it, whenever you break the bricks. So let's give that a try. So that works. I don't really like the dog bark. Okay, so then we got that working. And then the last thing would be, click stop. Put in some music. Again, if you know how to get music into your downloads folder, you got something on your Chromebook already. Everybody streams everything now, so getting a file that you can use, people aren't too familiar with how to do that. So I gave you a bunch of songs that you can just click here, Mr. G Music, and look at the ones that are there, find ones you like. I mean, it's just random. I got a lot more music, but I didn't want to upload a ton of them. So I don't know, Linkin Park in the end. So just right click, say download, and it puts it in the downloads folder. Right, let's double check, make sure it's there. It is. So now I go back to my game, do another upload, upload that file, wait until this URL changes. It just changed. So I clicked there, it copied it. So now I go back up here, variables for audio, hit enter. Oops, let me see what I called it so I do it the same way. Background sound, that makes sense. Now the thing I don't know is the word background one word or two? I think it's one. I don't know. For me, it's one. Background, instead of sound, we'll call it music. Background music equals, same thing, same way, new, audio, open close parentheses, open close quotes, control V to paste, go to the end, hit semicolon. Now the song may play a little too loud, so you can control the volume. We can say this. So I'm going to put this in already because I think I'll probably have to do this. Background music dot volume. So if we're doing coding, you should realize name of the variable, dot, the property you want to control, equals, and whatever you want to control it by. I'm going to put in, it can go from like 0 to 1, or probably just a little above 0. I guess 0 is silent. So let's leave it at 1 right now. I think it can go up to 1. Let's make sure, we'll see. And then of course, when do we want it to play? Well, I think we want it to play when the game starts. And here's where the game starts. So we just copy this, background music dot play. Open close parentheses and a semicolon. So now if I go and play the game, so it might be a little hard to hear when it hits the bricks, especially when this song gets going a little bit.
It starts with one thing. I don't know why it doesn't even.
Yeah, so you can see after the guy starts singing, the music kind of really overtakes the other sound effects. So let's make this, I don't know, let's make it half, 0.5. And now play it again.
It starts with one thing. I don't know why it doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that.
Okay, so that sounds pretty good. I think I like it. So you're done. That's all you got to do to get 100 on this culminating activity. The one last thing I want to show you is this. If you upload something and you don't copy the link or something messes up with the link and you're like, I already uploaded that file. What's the link? How do I go find it? This is how you find it. You click on your name over here. You go, and I'm going to right click and say open a new tab because I don't want to lose my game over here. So I'm going to go to account settings, right click, and this is only for if you didn't get the link right. Account settings, code history, my uploads, and then you'll see here's your uploads and here's the links. So you could always just, copy them. If you click it, it actually opens and it plays. And then you can just copy it from here. But again, that's only if you messed up on the initial copy. So you can go get it, but it's another process that you shouldn't have to do. And so there you go. You have the game all done. It should be good. I hope you enjoyed this little modification. I know I did. Thank you.